Hello, Blokees and Naruto fans. This is Speedball and today for you guys, I am checking out one of Blokees. Well, not one of their biggest lines they have yet, but it has been growing, and that is their first volume of their Naruto Shippuden Galaxy series. And yes, my friends, this is an interesting volume to check out, of course, because if you happen to be both a Naruto or a Shippuden fan, you're probably going to like this one for a number of reasons. For one, if you didn't even know they had a Galaxy series, well, guess what, friends, Blokees does. And this volume is really cool. I mean, for one, we get so many Akatsuki literally in the first volume. That is awesome. I mean, I've always wanted to collect some Naruto figures and stuff. The problem is, a lot of them were just either too expensive or just not enough of them, or I just couldn't get to them. However it was, there's too many reasons. But when I heard Blockheads was doing their line and finding out that they're actually already starting off with four Akatsuki members in the first volume, that is just a must buy. But not just that, of course. I also love the fact that, of course, we got Naruto, of course, we gotta have him. But we also got all the members of Team 7, aka Sakura and Sasuke in the back here. I do apologize if you can't see the characters right away, guys, only because the fact that uh, the stand pieces that come in this volume now, of course, note, I believe that has changed, however, with more recent releases. But for a number of the first volume releases, as you can see here, the stand pieces they designed, which I believe they have used for other release, for other sets and stuff. I just don't know them offhand, but as you can see, are pretty much like the standard Galaxy stands. But however, the difference with these ones is, as you can see, they come with this really cool display setup where you can put the tradable card, as you can see here, on it, which, in a lot of cases they don't normally do that, but in this volume they did. Now, of course, like I just mentioned, I believe, however, they changed that with most of their other releases after this volume, and I think any reissues of this volume, I think they might have changed it again and just replaced the stands with regular ones. I'm not 100%. I've heard, here and there. But yeah, these work really cool, fun display setups for these guys. I like it because it makes it easier for the cards. But if you're not, no biggie about the cards, well, don't worry. You can just, as I showed you, you can just remove the cards really easy. And as you guys can see, you can now see all the characters much better now. I just wanted to show you guys the card display idea if you guys happen to get this volume or this specific version of the volume. And there you go, guys. Now you can see all the characters in this volume. And I have to say, as I already mentioned, it is a really nice set to have, especially for a starting setup for their Galaxy lineup. For one, of course, we got our ninja and Hokage to be Naruto himself. We have, of course, our returning Team 7 members, Sakura and Sasuke, which are really nice. We, of course, have, as I already mentioned, the Akatsuki members you see over here. And one of the things that surprised me with this volume even more than, like I mentioned before with the Akatsuki, was we got Naruto's mom and dad in the very first volume. I'm not going to lie, that surprised me. Well, if you know the characters of the story pretty well, you'll understand. If not, simply put, I would have expected his parents to pop up like later, like in volume 4 or 5 or something kind of deal. But no, he's they're in the first volume, which is really nice. And if you haven't already noticed, yes, the rare units are very nice in this volume too, because as you can see here, the rares for this volume are the Nine Tails Chakra Cloak of of our boy Naruto, and of his dad. That is so cool to have these together. I love it. And as you can also see, these specific versions come with these mini Ninetales that represent the two variations of our Ninetales himself, which is really cool. I love this. Now, of course, note, just like any other Galaxy series and any other rare units, you're not guaranteed to pull these in the volume. I honestly, I got lucky. I won't lie. I was able to pull Naruto's dad in my first in this unboxing I did. I picked up Naruto's later on and such. And speaking of the rarities set up in this volume, that's another interesting detail I noticed. And I believe they've done this with a number of their other volumes too, is that you would think normally, like I've seen with, like, for example, their Transformer volumes, usually the rare is usually just a recolor or, variation of just one of the characters in the set. In this case, Minato and Naruto. So you figure the rare would replace the standard version in the volume that you would get. Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen this with like their Saint Seiya's too, but in this volume, no, the rare when I pulled his, no, his actually replaced a different character. His replaced a Sakura in this volume, and I know a lot of Sakura fans, and would laugh at that, I'm sure. But yeah, that's how I got him. So in this volume, when I unboxed all these units, I actually pulled two Minatos in one volume, which was very interesting and fun. So yeah. Now let's go on to some articulation, guys, because if you haven't seen these, let me show them off a little so you guys can see that. So real quick, let's play around with Naruto here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe a percent of how they designed the molds for these are have been used with other Galaxy series. I just don't know which ones offhand. I do apologize. But however, besides that, as you guys can see, these little guys have a lot of articulation points for ball jointed shoulders, an elbow bend here. The hands are on pegs, so 360 there. Heads can of course do that because of the ball joints. Legs, as you can see, can pull off some really cool poses, can bend a lot of ways, foot articulation, and so forth. So you guys can play around with a lot of good articulated points here with poses and such. Now, I must mention though, however, the articulation can differ between the units here because of their clothing. Specifically, what I mean is, like you see here, let's borrow Itachi here for a second, so you guys can see him. Of course, as you can see, the Akatsuki's cloak is really nice, accurate to detail, and it just looks so much fun to have on them. However, it's also restrictive. What I mean is, the arms are okay. The arms are fine. Head, not really a big issue. But the legs and the waist in here, guys, well, as you guys can see, that's as far as you're going to get pretty much for leg bends and such. I mean, you could still, yeah, knee bend, but yeah, because of the cloak, you're not going to get too much space there. So, and that goes for other characters, of course, that also have cloak, capes, or dress-like clothing and such that covers most of the body. And you give Sasori and Kisama their other battle variants. In other words, like his shark version when he's swimming around in the episodes, and Sasori when he's showing off his puppet body. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, Sasori doesn't come with like any of his little puppets or anything like that. I would have loved that for him. So bummer. Let's see. But we do get other fun characters in this volume, like Toby in the first volume. And yes, this piece comes off, and as you can see, there's his mask. I wonder what's hiding in there, though. I wonder, right? You might be able to see his eye in there. I can't say because of my camera, but if you don't, yes, you can actually look through there and see his actual Shari gun in there. That is pretty awesome. I love that. Let's see, who else do we want to play around with? Well, let's look at Sakura because I know all Naruto fans love Sakura, right? But honestly, yes, I do like her though in this setup. It's really cool. Let's see. The facial detailing is fun. Her little skirt setup is cute, and the fact that she comes with ninja weapons is awesome, which are shared with a number of these units. So they all do come with weapons, my friends. Well, most of them do. It just like I mentioned before, depends. No, there is one detail I want to mention about. I think about all, not all of them, but some of them I've noticed is the hair pieces you guys see here, which look very accurate. But understand this is like a rubber material. It's like a thick rubber piece. Now, that's not the problem. The problem I've noticed with not all, but as I said, some, is that, well, they they come off pretty easy on some of these characters, I've noticed. So if you want a bald Sakura, well, you got an option, as you can see. Easy attach points, though, so it's not a huge deal. I just happen to notice that. Other than that, the only other thing I want to mention for the articulation, too, is that when you're assembling the shoulder sections with the ball joints, because it's like a double ball joint, which is very interesting, but it can be a bit tricky to get in. I've noticed that when I was putting them all together. But other than that, you do get extra pieces like that, so if you happen to lose one, so so yeah. Let's take a look at our bad boy Sasuke with his badass sword and his and his really cool effect piece that of course represents the Chidori, my bad, which is really cool. I definitely like that piece. I love the fact that Blokees always gives us effect pieces with certain characters and such, and this one's awesome, of course, to have with him. It even has the his family's crest on the back here. That was a pretty cool feature and such. And if you guys are wondering, let's take a look at the fourth Hokage himself, which is really nice. I definitely like that. And the vest piece that's in there too, it's really cool. So like I mentioned before with like the cloaks, you can just remove the his cloak here and just leave his, his battle gear as normal. I just of course kept the cloak on because, but he also comes with his signature kunai as well. I definitely love that feature as well. I do. I definitely love that. And having him with Naruto is really cool. But real quick, let's look at, of course, Naruto's mother. This is an awesome piece to have. Like I said, I was totally surprised when this volume gave us his parents together. I definitely love it. I mean, I just love having all three of them together. I don't know, maybe it's a sentimental thing. I don't know. I like it. Now, if you are wondering by any chance if any of them come with like swappable faces or anything, sadly, no, my friends, that they do not. So if you were hoping to see Naruto's mother in her, let's just say her expressive faces from the show and the manga, sadly, no, she doesn't come with that. I know it's a bummer, right? But it's nice to still have her like this. Now, of course, if you're wondering about scale wise with like other Galaxy series, my friends, well, luckily for you, I do happen to have my Transformers Optimus Prime Galaxy units. You guys can see with our Naruto here. Optimus is, yeah, he's a bit bigger for sure because he's actually as tall as the stand piece with Naruto on it. So, so he'd be shorter without it for sure. But yeah, the scale is about that size. So if you guys were wondering how big these guys are, so yeah, same size as most of the other Galaxy releases they have. Well, Blokees has done. So yes, what are my thoughts on this volume, guys? Well, if you want to collect more series, if you want to collect some of Blokees' unbelievably large number of series they have collected, Naruto is definitely a good one. I don't have any issues with it. I really don't. I love the collection so far, and I already know they already have so many other volumes out, and I already have plans to pick up some and already review a couple for you guys to check out, including their new Champion Class series, which I definitely want to check out because those look very cool. I won't lie, guys. I can't wait to check those ones. Other than that, yeah, I don't have a problem with this volume. I really like the set. I like the collection so far, and when I add more to it, it'd be great to have. So yes, I can easily recommend this volume to you guys if you're looking for a Naruto collection to begin, because I like it already. And I would like to mention too, because if you weren't aware of this, for those who shop on the US Blokees site, I have good news because Blokees has just recently been listing a number of the Naruto releases on there, including volumes 1 and 2 of their Galaxy series. So if you were trying to find this one, because understand, friends, I picked this volume up a while back, before the listing, I mean, and because at that time a lot of the volume ones were starting to disappear off other shelves and such, so I didn't think we would see it on the US site. So luckily I didn't have to pay. I didn't pay any crazy prices or anything. It was just I didn't think they were going to post it there. Well, there you go. So I'm hoping that means volumes 3 and 4 will pop up soon as well. And when the next set of Naruto releases comes about, I can't wait to see them. So yes, that is it for today, my friends. I do hope you're enjoying your Blockies addiction as I am, because after this, I'm definitely going to be checking out a number of their other series because there's so many other ones I definitely want to collect. But for now, that is it for today. So I do thank you guys for coming, and I do hope you'll come again to check out my next Blockies review for you guys. So I'll see you all later.